All right, guys, so we took a little break, right? We showed you some car show action, showed you a little motorcycle stuff. But on this episode of Pugliese Speed Shop, we really need to get back to work on the old Royale. All right, guys. Hello, and welcome back to another edition of We Still Gotta Finish This. So, let's talk with old Wade, right? And he's got some similar, accusations as Kevin does that I'm taking too long to finish this guy. And I'm trying to prove a little point here, and that is these little details, they take some time, all right? Like on the shows you watch, whatever, overhauling. I keep dating myself with that, but you get the idea, right? It all happens in 45 minutes, and you got the dopest ride you've ever seen in your life. Yeah, that's in the movies, right? And when people like Chip Foose do stuff, which I clearly am not, right? So I was also talking with Dave. You remember Dave, the old doctor there? Throw a little picture of his car up here, and maybe his bike, and maybe even him if we can find one. But I was talking to him the other night, and he mentioned that, we talked about his car, because it was in the car show, and, the video come out and all that. And he said when his father built that thing, it took him 6 years of steady work. And, you guys saw the car, forget about it, right? It shows that it took 6 years. Now, if it takes me 6 years to put this bucket together, well, guys, I'm in the wrong racket. And actually, I'm not even in the racket. I'm like a part-time hack. So, full-time hack, part-time here. But you get it, right? So the point I'm trying to make is these things take time, all right? Whether you're building like a Pebble Beach show car or you're trying to put together something that you can half-ass be proud of and, not afraid to put your name on it. We talk about it, not exactly my cup of tea. I don't even like tea, but it's not a bad car. Somebody's going to love it, and I got to make sure it gets to the right guy. I feel that's my job. My job right here is to make this thing less uncool, make it reliable, and make sure we get it to the right guy so we don't just stick it in a junkyard somewhere like where it was probably destined to go. So at the end of the day, I'll sleep well knowing I did all I could do. But enough rambling. So I'm going to get back on this little exhaust action, like right in this region there. And snug everything up, make sure everything's lined up right. I'll bring it back because it's pretty boring, but you can see where it's actually right. And I'll put the car down and we'll make sure everything is beautiful. All right, so if you notice, you can hardly see the pipe, right? So I snugged it up a little bit more. Came out really good. Boring, yes. Aggravating, hell yes. So it took a little longer than I wanted to. That's not a surprise. That's just how this goes. But I get you to see this all here. There's the whole thing, right? That's can you see everything? I got a little closer. There we go. I got this. Maybe, kind of. All right, there we go. So everything's in place, everything's good and tight. See, we got her we finished her up with a couple self-tappers there and called that a day. So, now that's all done, we will attempt to do a sit-up and get the car off of jacks, call this done, and turn our attention to the thing under the hood over there. So maybe I I overthought the exhaust just a little bit because I was really sweating seeing all those clamps. And, I mean, yo, you guys see it, right? No? How about now? No, not really. Well, if I lay on the ground, yeah, you can kind of halfway see it, but I still don't look that bad. So I guess everyone that told me that I was overthinking the exhaust, they might have been right. Because it don't look bad. It looks, I mean, you don't even see it. And yeah. And how about this, guys? Look at this, huh? We haven't seen this thing off jacks in like a month. So yeah, I've been a little busy and I haven't got stuff done I wanted to, but we're calling this job right here done. So guys, sometimes, you know, you're your own worst enemy. And that's my problem right here, and it was my problem on the hard body. So now that I think about it, Kevin might have been right with some of those similarities, you know? Because I'm overthinking all these details on stuff that really don't matter. I mean, yo, see the exhaust there? No, you don't, right? You know what else you don't see? I was really overthinking this too. It wasn't lining up right. I got my ass kicked. I mean, look, it's freaking dark outside, right? So I was like, well, I'll just put a tack on it to keep it because it kept rolling on me, and I couldn't get everything to snug up right, and it was just one thing after another. So finally, I broke out the welder, and well, I didn't show you the welds because if Gene Winfield saw them, he'd probably revoke my certificate. But they hold. They look like hell, but they hold, and it's done. It should have been done a week ago. It should have been done a month ago. But I wasn't happy with how it was coming out, and somehow, guys, I forgot that I'm just putting an '84 Oldsmobile back together. That's where I have a hard time with. And it's funny because like I'm such a hack, but I sweat that kind of stuff. Like it's complicated, I guess. All right, but well, we're gonna forget about that. Call it done. It's off the list already. So move on to fill the rest of these vacuum lines, making sure they're all plugged up, and hopefully get this in a run right. Hopefully. We'll see how it goes. No promises. And I ain't gonna overthink it. I'm gonna try not to. All right. So, where did we leave off on this guy? If I remember correctly, yep, we got a little hole right in here. Just a little guy. Originally, this here was, I think it's this one, came up and around. We connected it like we did other things. Don't worry about that. We're gonna stick a screw in there and call that a day. Maybe a little Teflon tape, maybe a little RTV. We'll see. You know, we'll see how the mood strikes. But yeah, last time we had it running, and it was running for a little while. And Jay's like, "Hey, look at this," and I was like, "Oh wow!" And I touched it, it was, and burned the ever-loving out of my fingertip. So maybe not the smartest thing I've done, but yeah, probably not the dumbest either. So we'll plug that up. Oh, this is clearly professionally plugged there, so that's fine. And yeah, we'll see what else we got. There's probably a couple others there affecting the idle and all that, but that's what we're gonna do here so we get this guy to run smooth like butter. We'll see if we can show you guys what we got going on here. So is that there? Can't really see. Let me move the old light here. We'll get you set up. There it is. See that little bolt right there? I mean, she clearly looks like she belongs in there, but we drove her home. Should be good to go. The little blue cap back there, we put that on. A couple other ones I got in there. So we're gonna see how this all works. That magnet's like really, really strong. If it all works good, then maybe we'll make that bolt look a little better, or maybe we'll just cover it with the air filter. Time will tell. But before we can answer that question, we got to see how she's running. So we're going to give it a shot. I'm gonna tell you what, guys. She's idling a little bit rough. You can see it bounce a little bit, but the idle is actually way lower than it was. If you guys remember, it was through the roof before. And yo, she's sounding pretty damn good. Took a second to start. It's the first time we even had the battery hooked up in a month, so I ain't mad about that. Carbureted from the 80s. I mean, come on, guys. She's leveling off a little bit. Remember how it was like everything was full of smoke? Look at this. Exhaust sounds nice. It's a little rich. She'll come down. We'll see. I am not upset about anything. I mean, fired right up, first time in a month. See a little bit of smoke coming out of it. I think it'll come out. I think we'll be all right. But what do you guys think? Pay no attention to that like glowing check engine light right there. It's gonna be fine. But yeah. All right. I might even drop a little more when we put the air filter and stuff on. And we got two little, let's go over here, PCU. Oh. Guys, this is, you remember what we started with? Forget about it, huh? All right, it's starting to smoke up a little bit. We'll give her a minute, all right? But light years better than it was. All right, guys, we took a little pause for the cause because it's Friday night and BW just had his Friday Night Live. So if you guys aren't in there, you go check it out. BW's Garage every Friday night at 8:30. From 8:30 to 9:30, he does a sticker giveaway. Bunch of car people just talking about cars and some food and whatnot. All the stuff that we all love, right? So throw this little plug in there. He's a great dude. His wife Kim is awesome. So go check him out. And after you watch this video, of course. So we're gonna try a little something that we've seen on some other channels. You guys will probably recognize this, but I've never done this before, and we'll see how it turns out. All right, so you guys have seen this before. Derek does it all the time on Vice Grip Garage. Calls it the Italian tune-up. The question I have is, since I'm Italian, is it just a tune-up? But I'm only half Italian, so is it only half a tune-up? I don't know. There's, math and numbers and science involved there, so we're just going to see if this works. We'll figure that out later. All right. that really blew a lot of crap out of there, and she got up on RPM better. So looks like Derek's onto something. Clearly, he knows what he's doing. Way more than I do. All right, guys. I think that's going to just about do it for this video. Figure we got the exhaust all knocked out. She just sounds like a song, you know, and it looks great. So I'm all happy there. I think we got the carb dialed in. The idle seems legit. She smoothed out quite a bit after, you know, pouring all that stuff down the old carburetor there. So I think my man Derek is onto something. Of course, I mean, I don't know why I think. We know. And what else we got here? We did, seems like we got, you know, the carb dialed in. We got the vacuum lines all figured out. And you guys already know we're just going to slap the old air filter and forget about that screw we threw in there. She ain't going nowhere. She's solid. Don't worry about that. Then what we're going to do? We're not doing nothing else tonight because we're gonna stop now before we start going backwards. It's just, you know, because it's been a long day, guys. Like if you watched last week's video, Michael actually just left on his bike this morning. We finished that up, just, you know, and then now we're rolling into this, and your boy's tired. That's all I'm saying, and hungry. Forget about it. I had breakfast and I've been down here all day, so yeah, I gotta, you know how that goes. But make sure you guys tune in next week. We're gonna get this guy knocked out. We got all little stuff listed, little details. Maybe I'll finally actually wax the other side of the car. We would take her for a little ride and make sure she's ready to go down the road. And I mean that in, like, you know, the double entendre meeting. Is that the right thing? I don't know. You know what I mean. We want her to drive and we want to sell it. So that's what I'm talking about. So until next week, like, share, subscribe, ring the bell, tell a friend. And as always, thanks for watching. I don't know why I keep pointing. Thanks.